She'll only want you when they want you. One thing I want to say before I say all of this is I think I've lost like maybe two or three people, subscribers on the channel. And I guess I've come to realize that not everyone is willing to hear these opinions. And I guess I'm coming to realize that that's completely okay. Because the things that I'm saying are somewhat controversial and they're very uncomfortable to hear. But I just have to say that I can't really dole down these thoughts. They're kind of just, it's kind of just the way it is. And I deliver my information pretty generally. I try not to be biased, but a lot of this information is just simply unknown. And some of the information I'm giving out, I've thought about for months and years. And then I've also had people who uh, they've already delved into these concepts, and I'm just kind of reiterating what they're saying. Some of the concepts are purely mine, but some of the other ones are just things that I picked up on, and I've had others confirm it. Um, yeah, I understand that some of this stuff is not pretty and it's not cool to be criticized, but but just so everyone understands, this is a men's channel. This is meant to tell the truth, and eventually I will be talking about other things, but this is just this is like the whole point of this channel to some degree is to eventually get to the point where I can have this information get out to men and they can actually, develop their own mindset of what they think based off of what I've learned through conversating with women. A lot of times women think men just should naturally know what to do because, women, they live life uh, through just they have value already, so that when they interact with people, there's an assumption that everyone else already has value as well, but that's not the case. Men have to earn the ability to interact and to to get what they want in life. Anyways, that being said, she'll only want you when they want you. There's kind of a Borg mind in the female psychology, um, and I was thinking about the mating heuristic of uh, selecting mates based off of how others perceive that individual, what that would be like. And just as a thought, uh, a woman who sees a guy and she, asks for his Instagram, for example, or asks for a Snapchat, with those apps, you could easily see how many points he has or who's following him or how many followers he has. And that can kind of give the woman a signal and, can kind of show to her, okay, well, how much status does he have, right? Whereas just getting a number from a guy, you don't really see that. You can only go off the vibe or how he's making you feel, which is really interesting. I've actually had women where I got their number and they were smitten with me. But then later, when I was being somewhat indecisive, they would ask me, "Hey, what's your Instagram or what's your Snapchat?" Because they ask this because they want to get more information and they want to see if other women are attracted to me. They want to say, okay, well, do you have value? Let's see if other women like you, kind of situation. Which I could tell this was going on when it happened, so it freaked me out. I was like, wow, this is kind of freaky. Um, uh, a little bit to add to that is that I don't know. It's a very interesting thing when you realize that your ability to attract a mate comes from your ability to attract other mates. Uh, it's fascinating, but it's also scary in a way, because it means that you don't have intrinsic value. Your value as a man comes from how other people perceive you, which is seemingly why men fight so hard to earn their status through work and things like that, which I don't think women understand. uh, just how important having social status is for a male. Whereas for women, I know it's important to have status in a group, but it seems very different. It seems that sexists value things in different ways. Uh, but for men, they could be out of the gene pool, out of the gene selection, just merely off of not having a place not having a status, a high enough status in society, uh, which is extremely important to bring up. But the other thing is, whenever you don't have, and shout out to Alan Realionaire for talking about this. He brings it up a lot. Whenever you're not talking to women, or they're not interested in you, or you don't have any real prospects, women aren't really feeling you a lot of times, and they're not really interested in dating you. Um, it's an interesting thing. It's almost as if they don't really see you as having value. They don't think you're important enough. They don't see you as having value to them. They don't think you'd be a good lover because you're not really, it's not. It doesn't seem that you're tried and true. It doesn't seem like, if no one else likes you, their mindset is, well, why would I want to talk to someone who no one's talking to? They don't see it as an opportunity to meet someone new. Which is really interesting, because with the skewed dating market, it would be extremely lucrative and hard to always have options, uh, just with how things are going now. uh, I guess guys, I guess you can choose how you react to this. The men at the top, the ones who are players and things like that, they know that this is how women operate. But the average man I think, is blissfully unaware of this, and I think that's what the manosphere, with the red pill, with the MGTOWs, and what I'm trying to combat. So you have to understand, if you want to be, like, if you're in a relationship, here's my advice. Don't limit yourself. Don't try to not get women's numbers when they show that they're interested in you. The reason why they're interested in you is because they can feel that you have other women and that you have someone with you. So I'm not saying you have to sleep with them or anything like that, but keep their number, keep other women in your phone and stuff like that. For you religious men, I guess I can't really convince you to do it, but the reason why I say this is because it'll make your woman insecure around you, and it'll give her a sense of dread, and that dread will make her work harder. She'll actually work harder for you. She'll treat you with more respect. It's interesting because women oftentimes, they claim they feel very insecure around certain men. And, I had a woman tell me that she feels insecure and she's trying to figure out how to win her man. And I told her in a funny way that the guy knows what he's doing, and that's kind of the point, because she's working hard to get his attention, and that's exactly where he wants her. It's fascinating because as much as women will manipulate men have learned to manipulate women in a similar way. But I guess part of the reason is because when women feel secure around you, they don't really treat you. A lot of times they don't treat you all that well. They treat you worse. I don't know why that is. It's like when they can finally sigh and breathe. Like, it's like, now I'm comfortable. Now I can start acting like a terrible person, right? Now I can treat him like equals, which when she thinks she's equal with you, then she thinks she's better than you, which is another thing. But yeah, um, I guess I didn't give the other side of it. So when you have a lot of women and stuff like that, the women, of course, are going to see a lot more value in you. But it's not going to be about you. It's just going to be about their perception of you. Now that other women are talking to you and stuff like that, which is why I say, if you have women flirting with you and stuff like that, don't always be so quick to get rid of that attention, because that can work in your favor. Yes, it's Machiavellian. I know it's not. Some people say it's morally reprehensible, but I'm just saying, if you want to survive in the kind of messed up landscape we're in right now, where people are just kind of tossing out their relationships left and right without feeling, and they're not really taking in consideration the other person. They're just kind of replacing other people like their utilities, right? If you want to survive in this environment, you kind of have to get rough with it. You can't just like traditional conservatives, they're always trying to operate off of this certain framework where they act, as nice as possible, but they're getting train wrecked by the other side, by the liberals, which is very funny, right? The liberals are winning, but the reason why is because they're not really not really using this moral high horse that the people on the right are. It's like, oh, I won't act like that. It's like, oh, okay, well, we're gonna crush you then. Um, anyways, yeah, she'll only want you when other people want you.